Okay, hi everybody. Today I'm going to be working on these, and it is a little tiny quilt piece, and inside the quilt piece in the layers is a cross. And so I thought I'd take you along why I make them. These are also good when you're witnessing to someone and you've been talking to them for a while about how much God loves you and all that. And it helps them to have a memory of what you've been talking to them about. Okay, everybody, in order to make the cross in the pockets, you need to print off these little cards that go with it, unless you don't want to have the little cards. It says, "This pocket prayer quilt was made especially for you to slip in your pocket for all the day through. Whenever your fingers touch the cross inside the quilt, be mindful of God's love and grace for you. Keep it as a symbol of God's peace." So I'm going to make them. And what I do is I have it on cardstock, and I have it all printed out so that I can print a bunch of them. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the paper I do. So every time I get 6 done, I can print these off and then do it. So that's the first thing. And then I put it in a little Ziploc baggie. I put one of these in the pocket quilt crosses. So I'm going to put that down over there. I get these crosses. I've gotten others in the past. I get them from Oriental Trading, and they're just little pockets. You're also going to need little squares. And whenever I'm making anything and I have leftover scraps of material from the project I made, I cut all those little pieces into squares. And then I start making them. You also will need a bigger scrap. I use leftover ticking halves. Some people put different on the back, so it's different colors. I usually use the plainer fabrics, and it's just a square like this. And what I'll do is in the description below, I'll give the measurements for what you need. Over there. And the first step is I do a chain of 2 squares together. So all it is let's make sure. So I take 2 pieces, whatever pieces that are there and convenient. Let's see, I haven't set up my sunroom all the way, so I don't have. So I would put these face to face, and these aren't perfect cuts because I don't spend a whole lot of time with the fussy cutting of it. And then I chain them. And then when I chain stitch them, I do a back tack in the beginning and the end. Let's get 2 more. Just to show you, and then we'll just put them together. Okay. Oh, trying to go suck in. There we go. There it's being persnickety, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so afterwards I have all these, and what I do is I press them all to one side. So they're all pressed to one side. So what I do is they come off like this, I press them all, then I'll flip them and nest, it's called nesting, the seams. So one seam will be on one side and one will be on the other. So let's see if we can find some that match up nicely for this from the ones that I had left over from last time. I guess I could do these together. They're pretty together. So what I do next is I take these and I put my point of my pin through here, and then this seam, and then I put my point of my pin through this seam, and then it keeps this side of the seam allowance and that seam side of the seam allowance in the right spot, and then I poke it back out so that it's even. So then I start sewing. And I chain a bunch of these like this. I trim all the things. Alright, put that away. I would open them up and I'd press them all at the same time. But for this, I'm gonna just finger press it to one side. See how it's nested like that? And it looks nice in the middle. I trim off any wonky looking parts because, as I said, I don't take a lot of time on making everything perfect. Put this aside in the trash. And then we need a piece for the backing. And all I do is, this is left over from a project. So I will cut a bunch of these at a time. But for this demonstration, I'll just cut one and put this aside for later to cut more. And I have my backing. Now this has a front and a back. This is the inside. This is the outside. So what I do is I take this and I put it in the middle. And I fold over and fold over, just like that. And I will chain all of them at once, sewing right down the first side. Thread's trying to be persnickety on me. The first time I did this, don't forget to back tack all the time. The first time I did these, I wasn't quite sure how they would go over. I had given them in the Christmas cards at my last church. So normally I would chain a whole bunch of them. And then after I sewn them all, I'll start taking off the end. But when I had given them out, oops, sorry, now I'm going to go down the other side. Fold it, oops, sorry, I'm going to fold it, and fold it, and do the same thing, and I chain a whole bunch of them on the other side as well. Chaining helps you to save time. So I just made them all and gave them out in the Christmas cards. And as I said, I didn't know how it would go over, they would go over. But I thought, well, we'll give it a whirl and see. Well, people would come up to me after Christmas and they pull out their little pocket quilt with the cross in it, and they say they carry it everywhere, which made me think, okay, I need to do more of these. Okay, there we go. you don't have to just give them out for holidays. I was thinking about keeping these with tracts in my pocketbook to give them out, so that people, and that's what it looks like so far. And you got this little pocket here, so that people that I talk to and witness to can get the little cross in the quilt pocket thing. Okay, and then I get a cross and I put it in each one. Some of these to me look Easter, but that last one I just did, be nice to go out when I'm out witnessing around 4th of July to give them. So I put a cross, and then I fold it over and fold it over, and then I'm going to sew across the top. And then they're done. All I have to do is put them in a baggie. Don't forget the back tack. And baggie with their little saying. My sewing machine is getting very old. And then I can give them out. But I figured the first batch that I do, I'm going to give to the nursing home that our church goes to. And then I'll make some more. When I'm done, I'll show you. Okay, so now I've made the copies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. Make sure it's straight at the bottom, down here. In the middle of there. Go down it. Now if you don't have a paper cutter, all you have to do is use your scissors. And I've done that many times because sometimes I don't know where my paper cutter is. Alright. Now these little leftover scraps of paper I use for deciding what paint colors I want to use in my journal. And then I go like this. So make sure you can see. I think I just got that a little bit crooked. Put this up here for now. Save these scraps for other things. Then I get my baggies and I put one of these in so it's facing one direction. Flip it over and put one of the little quilts in facing the other direction. And you can feel the little cross in there. And then I bag them all up like this to give out. So they can see the saying on this side and the quilt on that. Okay, I'm gonna bag some more up and get them ready. Alright, thanks for coming along, and I hope you try this too. If you don't have a sewing machine, I'm sure you could probably do it by hand. I don't know. And if you're not a sewist, maybe you know somebody that is, that could make these up for you to give out. I always try to find ways to break the ice with people, to talk to them about Jesus. And I found this is a good one. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.